Hey guys, so we are now going to take a look at our 10th president, John Tyler. John Tyler's, whose lifespan from 1790 to 1862, served as America's 10th president from 1841 to 1845. He assumed office after the death of President William Henry Harrison, whom I spoke about in the last presidential video, who passed away from pneumonia after just a month in the White House. Nicknamed his Excellency, Tyler was the first vice president to become chief executive due to the death of his predecessor. A Virginian, he was elected to the state legislature at the age of 21 and went on to serve in the U.S. Congress and as governor of Virginia. A strong supporter of states' rights, Tyler was a Democratic Republican. However, in 1840, he ran for vice presidency on the Wang ticket. As president, Tyler clashed with the Whigs, who later tried unsuccessfully to impeach him. Among his administration's accomplishments was the 1845 annexation of Texas. Before he died, Tyler voted for Virginia's secession from the Union and was elected to the Confederate Congress. John Tyler was born on March 29, 1790, at his family's plantation, Greenway, in Charles City County, Virginia. He was the son of John Tyler Sr., whose life spanned from 1748 to 1813, a prosperous planter and Virginia politician, and Mary Armstead, whose life spanned from 1861 to 1971. The younger Tyler graduated from College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia in 1807, then studied law under private tutors. He began his political career in 1811 when he was elected to the Virginia legislature at 21. Did you know? President Tyler reportedly named his Virginia plantation Sherwood Forest because he identified with the legendary character Robin Hood, and he saw himself as a political outlaw. The home, which the president bought in 1842, remains in the Tyler family today and is open to the public for tours. In 1813, the 23-year-old married fellow Virginian Letta Christian, whose life spanned from 1790 to 1842, with whom he would have 8 children. In 1839, Letta suffered a stroke that left her partially paralyzed and incapable of handling the responsibilities of First Lady when her husband became president 2 years later. His daughter-in-law, Priscilla Cooper Tyler, whose life spanned from 1816 to 1889, a former actress, assumed the role of official White House hostess. In 1842, Letta Tyler suffered a second stroke and died at the age of 51. becoming the first president's wife to pass away while her husband was in the White House. In 1844, John Tyler became the first president to marry while in office when he wed Julia Gardner, whose life spanned from 1820 to 1889, a wealthy New Yorker 30 years his junior, meaning she was 30 years younger than him. The couple went on to have 7 children, with a total of 15 offspring from his 2 marriages. Tyler fathered more children than any other U.S. president in history. Tyler served in the Virginia legislature from 1811 to 1816 and was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from 1817 to 1821. Elected to Congress as a Democratic Republican, the party founded in early 1790s by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. Tyler favored states' rights and strict adherence to the U.S. Constitution and opposed policies granting additional power to the federal government. He returned to Virginia legislature from 1823 to 1825 and was governor of Virginia from 1825 to 1827. In his role, he delivered the state's official eulogy for Jefferson, America's 3rd president, who passed away on July 4th, 1826. Tyler represented his home state in the U.S. Senate from 1827 to 1836. During this time, he grew unhappy with the policies of President Andrew Jackson, a Democrat who was in the White House from 1829 to 1837. In 1834, the Senate censored Jackson over issues surrounding his removal of government funds from the Bank of the United States. 2 years later, in 1836, Tyler resigned from the Senate to avoid complying with the Virginia legislature instructions to reverse the censor vote. The ex-senator became affiliated with the Whig Party, which was established in the early 1830s in opposition to Jackson. In 1840, the Whigs selected Ohio politician William Henry Harrison to run for president and chose Tyler as their vice president nominee in an attempt to attract states' rights for the Southerners. The Whigs positioned Harrison as a symbol of the common man and promoted his image as the Indian fighter on the American frontier, using the campaign slogan, Tippecanoe and Tyler too, a reference to Harrison's military leadership against a coalition of Indian forces at the 1811 Battle of Tippecanoe in Indiana. Harrison's Democratic opponent, President Martin Van Buren, who was unpopular with Americans for his mismanagement of financial crisis known as the Panic of 1837, was painted by the Whigs as an out-of-touch, wealthy elite. In fact, he came from humble roots, while Harrison and Tyler were well educated and hailed from prominent families. The Harris-Tyler ticket won the White House with an electoral vote of 234 to 60, and approximately 53% of the popular vote. The 68-year-old Harrison was inaugurated on March 4th, 1841. He passed away a month later and on April 4th from pneumonia. In the immediate aftermath of Harrison's death, there was confusion about whether Tyler would assume the full powers and salary of the presidency as if elected to the office or remain vice president, acting as president. The U.S. Constitution was unclear on the matter of presidential succession. However, Tyler moved into the White House and was sworn into office on April 6th. At 51 years old, the man, dubbed His Excellency, was younger than any previous president. The ambiguity surrounding the order of succession issue was officially clarified with the 25th Amendment to the Constitution, which was ratified in 1967, and states that if the president dies or resigns, the vice president becomes president. So that would actually mean that if, let's say, President Biden would go into surgery or whatever, and he passes away on surgery, well, not even that, but if he would go into surgery, his Kamala Harris would be the acting president until he was well enough to resume his duties as president. I think, if my understanding of that is correct. In his new role, Tyler soon found himself in opposition of the Whigs' legislative agenda. He had kept Harrison's cabinet in place. However, all but one of them resigned after Tyler vetoed bills designed to create a new national bank. The president was disavowed by the Whig, who in 1943 tried but failed to impeach him. Despite the fact that he was a man without a party, Tyler was still able to rack up a list of achievements as chief executive. In 1841, he signed the Preemptive Act, which spurred Western settlement by allowing a person to stake a claim on 160 acres of public land and purchase it from the government. In 1842, Tyler's administration ended the Seminole War in Florida and settled a dispute between the U.S. and British North American colonies over boundary issues, including the Maine-Canada border. With the Webster-Ashburton Treaty. And with that, I will see you in the next one.